Hi guys, it's Wayne from Handplanes, Handles and Restoration. Today what I want to show you is this record 4.5 stay set. What I want to do is a light restoration on it because I don't think it's in too bad a nick. So what I'm going to do is just take it apart to start with to see what we need to do with it. Alright, so we'll start with the front knob. Now these front knobs by this age on this plane, yeah, it's 1955 to 1965 roughly. We'll probably find out more as we take it apart and see if get a better date for it. Right, beach knobs, that with the obligatory white paint on it, or putty or whatever is on it, we'll get them cleaned up, they'll come up nice. Threaded bar and the brass, we'll get that all cleaned up nicely, get them threads, get a bit of rust out the threads, get them sorted. Right, lever cap. Yeah, when you bought the stay set with the plane, you got the lever cap with the SS on, as you can see from there. This is the blade. Yeah, on these that come apart like that, and again I'll get all that cleaned up and see what sort of age we've got on that. Right, what we'll do next is take this. Take the screws out the frog, have a look under there, see if we're in good nick. Yeah, that's quite good. I mean, the paint's still on there, quite nice, the colour. So I don't think that's going to take a lot of sorting out. Right, take this off. Again, this is a beach handle, which we'll get that tidied up nicely. Again, the brass will sort itself out. That probably needs a bit of a file up on that. But yeah, the base, that's quite happy with that. It's still quite nice colours on there. Can't fault that. Take that screw out. Again, get all that bit of rust on that. We'll get that cleaned up. All in all, not too bad. I picked this up from a car boot sale. I think I paid about £10 for it, so I think that was a bit of a winner. But yeah, let's see how we do with it. Right guys, I got it finished, and this is the finished plane. I'm going to show you it like this, and then I'll take it apart. I think it's turned out really nice. A deep blue in there is beautiful. The handles turned out nice, happy with them, which I'll explain about in a minute. Lever cap was alright, happy with that. Not too much work gone on really doing that, but I'm quite pleased with that. Right, let's take it apart and I'll show you what I did. Right, so the first things, all the threaded bar, nuts, bolts, all taken apart, all cleaned up on a really fine wire wheel, and then coated with microcrystalline wax to start with, and then a drop of oil as I put it back together. That should protect it from the rust for the future. The brass, I always like not to over polish this. I like to keep a bit of the patina still. So again, coated that up, microcrystalline, bit of oil before, put threads back in. Lovely job. Right, on these, on the woodwork, I've stripped it right back down with 4-rose wire wool and paint thinner. Took everything off so it'll pull off any oils, grease, old lacquer that was on it, right back, but it won't take out, you know, you start sanding things, which I don't do. It takes all your knocks and bumps out, which I wanted to keep in. So after that, stain it back up to your desired colour, a coat of lacquer to seal the stain, and then after that, a coat of microcrystalline wax, which protects everything. In fact, to do that on the old plane, everything gets a coat of microcrystalline wax. Right, let's go have a look at this. So what we got next? Lever cap. Again, cleaned it all up on the wheel, all in all the nooks and crannies and everywhere, got rid of any rust that was there. It's got a few marks on it, but for the age I'm not too concerned about that. It don't look too bad at all. Even left the remnants of the orange paint in the recesses there, Can you see that? There we go. I like that. Look, turned out quite well. Let's take the blade out. Let's have a look. Right. Again, this was quite rusted up, which that's turned out quite nice. Quite happy with that. On these, you've got to keep these grooves nice and clean, which I've cleaned them out nicely. So, and there's a little spigot there where this sits in, and it locates really firmly. Really pleased with that. So when you put it all back together, it's nice and tight. So got all that sorted. Pleased with that. The frog, the front of the frog there. Look, it's still got the patina on, but I've cleaned everything off, and I'm quite pleased with that. Right. Oh, there's one other thing on there. You see on the lateral lever there, it says record. That helps us date it more accurately, which I'll come to in a minute. Let's take that apart. Yeah, on the blade adjuster, there's also some writing in the recess there, which I can show you now. I don't know whether you can see it in there, but it says on, off and cut, which dates it with this and the record on the lateral lever. That helps me date it, I think, to around 1955 to 1957, I think, when this was made. Obviously, if anyone out there knows it's even more accurate, that would be great. And if I'm wrong, that's fair enough. Let me know, because I'm always willing to learn. So that's that. Right, yeah, there we go. On there, look how the blue. It's beautiful, that is. I'm really pleased with that. Again, that just cleaned it up. Washed it down to start with, and then cleaned that up with microcrystalline. Coat of that on there, and that's turned out quite nice. I'm quite impressed with that. Right, the tote again, same again. This has turned out really nice. Quite happy with that. All these, the brass parts, like I said to you before, all cleaned up. All these screws now work beautifully. Quite chuffed with them. All polished up. So there we go. Take that apart. Right. There we go. Quite pleased with that tote. Turned out quite nice. So yeah. There we go. Oh, the other thing I'd like to point out is when I'm doing the on there the contact points, the 4 contact points, I always like to put a coat of oil on those, and also on the 4 contact points on there, so that when you put that back together, it adjusts, it slides along nicely. And the other thing it does is stop the rust coming back. That's the all important rust which we get. But again, it's another thing to protect your plane against, which I like to do. Let's just get this back together. So yeah, there we go. Let's get that in. There we go. Put that in. Put the blade back together. Put that back in there. It's got that. Just pop it back so you can see it again for the final time. I'll put it all back a bit better once we've finished the video. But that's what I did with it. Now, if you've got any comments, put them below, no problem. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, that'd be even great. I've got a few videos up already, but I'm going to do plenty more like this, of different planes, you know, Stanley, Preston, different planes like that I've got, as well as record. yeah, so any comments below would be great. Subscribe below as well, that would be wonderful. And I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye.